Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf, the Duergar, where I have arrived at the Kobold Caves, where I am supposed to watch my step. I know I'll get all the way through and my hireling's going to go whop. Actually, I'll bring out your celestial dog. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, she's not in the mood to bring out her celestial dog. So, let's...
Most of the kobolds scramble to defend their cave at the sight of you, while one of their numbers scampers away.
Yeah.
You slide through the muck and refuse into a pool of stagnant slop. It's just not your day.
No, I didn't go into slave slop or anything like that. What's not my day is I didn't catch up with the kobolds. Is there a way to manage do that on this character? I have some characters where I have absolutely no trouble stopping. I think they all have range abilities or something like that. But somehow I got trapped into trying to chase it down, and I'm not fast enough to do that. Probably if you had a faster character, you could do it, but those kobolds are slippery. And I always forget that when I run this one. But if I have a character that's very good at range, then I manage to kill the kobold without that sound, and that's useful because the alarm doesn't go off, and there's an optional that you can do in that case. So I'm not really care as much about the optional in this run through because it's to get those evil chaos badges in there, and I don't know. I don't care about for this particular run through. Let's see what we got. There we go. There's the iron key. Pile of gold. Break a couple of crates because this is DDO. And let's loot the chest over here, which is in this room. The treasure hoard, if hoard is the right word you could use for it. And then we just go blow ourselves up. I mean, that's typical also of DDO. Let's see. A wooden buckler. Would a buckler be appropriate for this character? Don't really know. Alright, well. Might as well wear it for now until I find something better to do. I think the plan is actually to do... Of course, no, this is a ranger. Of course, there'll be... Two-weapon fighting is more likely going to be a skill. But that sort of comes around level 2 where that really comes around. And first I need a second weapon. But the buckler will serve me until I do have a second weapon.
An elderly kobold rouses her tribe for battle to defend their home. The kobolds that rally appear stronger and more panicked than the ones you fought before.
Ooh. Looks like I have... Let's see, is there... There's a hidden door around here somewhere, right? Yeah, it is. Hey, anything in the treasure chest? No. Well then, let's deal with some bugbears or goblins. Let's see what tune we find. I have found the Bugbear caves.
As you walk deeper into the cave, you hear deep, guttural voices in the distance.
Deep, guttural voices. How about enlarge? Okay, now, that's right, do this before starting combat, not afterwards. Hey, ouch!
You notice a small iron key in the corner of the room.
Do that. Anything in here? least I don't have trouble getting through the door when I do
The
this.
stout iron lock on this door looks as though it would be impossible to pick. The iron lock creaks as it opens. You hear hurried footsteps approaching.
Alright, let's see what we have here. Okay, oh, this is... I was wondering, how do I know how much time I have left on it? Okay, there is a buff showing up on the upper left. Just how much time you've got left on the
smell
enlarge.
of meat cooking wafts tantalizingly down the corridor. You notice the glint of silver in the far corner of this chamber. As the first lever is pulled, the crystal above it flares into life.
I suppose someone who's a master at min-maxing will know when it's better to use the enlarge option and when it's better to use the reduce option. Since right now, this is extra for bonus to dodge. And this one is PRR. I really don't know exactly how PRR works.
A small silver key is embossed on this surprisingly well-crafted lock. As the silver lock clicks open, you hear the muffled voices of bugbears ahead.
I suppose if you have a build that works to lean on one or the other, it might make a big difference. But I'm going to go by assumption that if you're not doing this, it's probably going to be roughly equal as to what each of them.
As the second lever is pulled, you can hear the rumble of the sealed doors sliding open.
Couldn't they have issued you a crossbow or a quarterstaff or something like that? I know, it's just so weird watching a sorceress fighting with fists.
As the door opens, you see several humans in chains crouching against the walls.
I find that just so strange that they chose to have her unarmed. Like she took monk training or something. Well, maybe more likely brawling in her case. Oh. Okay. I forgot about this. I think that when I do the total chaos, which I think I'll do total chaos in the next episode. And for that, I will bring along a cleric. Something more traditional. Let's see, this way. There wasn't anything like shrine in here, right? Yeah. I think there was a shrine in an earlier room. Well, if I pass a shrine, then I'll use that to heal up. Oh.
Huddled humans dressed in rags flinch away from the door as you open it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And there. Okay, good. Now, this way, we still need to take care of a chieftain. That will be... Which way? And the chieftain should be this way, back towards the entrance. But I'm going to take care of my promise to rest. I'd been curious before about the reason for the number of shrines they have in many dungeons, thinking, isn't this too many? Perhaps the number in there was on the assumption that you don't have clerics in it, so you're not being forced to have clerics with you. I'm gonna make that as my guess so far. Alright, let's increase our size a little bit. be more intimidating to these large
As you open the
creatures.
door, a massive bugbear growls and attacks. As the chieftain dies, you notice a small ornate key on the table in the far corner of the room.
Anything that gives us more treasure, right? Yeah. Now, I think the treasure room is this way.
The door to the treasury opens with a satisfying click. The large rusty lock on this chest looks like it could be picked.
Well, then, let's pick it. Right? Yeah, I have open locks. And I even got some thieves tools between episodes, but I got it between episodes 1 and 2 because I did run into something in the first episode that I couldn't open up because I didn't have them. Something about the way my character has the animations on it makes me sometimes look like it's like they're drunk or something. I don't know. Venomous longbow of Dragonbane. Well, that may come in handy. But for now, I think it's time to go back to town and level up. Ah, here's the Ranger Trainer. Alright, let's see. Advance to the next level of Ranger. Alright, we have, of course, the usual tradition. I'm just going to be putting points into the same skills I built before. I usually don't think too much about them, just keep along the same track as I go along. And then we just finish up. It looks like that's all you've got to do there. You do get 2-weapon fighting now, which is granted at this level. Rapid shot is granted, as well as 2-weapon fighting and wilderness lore. No, not much to think on for that. Since I now have 2-weapon fighting, I should get a second weapon. Maybe I can get one from one of the quest givers. Quarterstaff, scepters. I don't think scepters make good second weapons. Well, they might within the game, but not within the lore inside my head, at least. So, I'll just get the armor there. I don't think I will be wearing that. I could just sell it. And over here, ooh, some leather armor. Magic resistance to leather armor. I'll just check that out compared to my current armor. I also have some armor that... Oh. Another quest to turn in. Ooh, let's see. Light pick. How about if I get the pick? I could check that. But for a second weapon, thinking of this guy, since I do have, since I'm level 2nd now, I do have an arcane ingot. Let's see what I can get for the arcane ingot. Scepter, do we have here? Now, I like to have some vermicitude on relating to weapons that I carry. So even though I think the rules allow you have just about any weapon as your second weapon, let's see, dagger. Let's see, all daggers are silver base, so that's out. What about swords? Like something like a short sword or something like that as my other weapon. Okay, there's silver. Or ethereal, but not arcane. So I guess they're... Like, so it looks like things like scepters and the like are what you get with the arcane ingot. Well, that's not good. I have my doubts about using a pick as an offhand weapon, but it looks like that's what I have to go with for now. I'll probably have a better makeup on my weapon set as we go along, as we head on deeper and loot some chests that have actually a nice set of weapons that really will work together. And I mean that from the point of view of role playing and not necessarily the point of view of min-maxing. Now, I think we've got everything except that I do want to have a cleric for the next episode. I think that Total Chaos I may need a little bit of healing as we go through there, unless I want to stay at every single shrine that's in the area. I can't remember how many shrines there are, but I think there are a few shrines in that particular adventure. Now, let's place that into there. And I think that we'll be ready to set to go into Total Chaos when we return for the next episode of Piney Plays the Duergar.